Hello everybody, so I have a Halloween cat, kind of cute kitten makeup for you. There's nothing groundbreaking here. It's pretty much a last minute makeup and I wore this to a Halloween party the other day and it's just so simple and quick to do. I think it's the perfect thing if you haven't thought much about a costume. All you really need is to throw on a pair of ears and paint some whiskers on and you're pretty much done. So I started this look with the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. Love this stuff. I always pick this out when I'm going to a party or I'm going out for a night because it's just so full coverage. It gives a really flawless finish and it lasts for the whole night. So I just buff this in with a Real Techniques buffing brush and really work it in to get the fullest coverage that I can get with it. It's nice because it's not heavy as well, so it's a great foundation for doing this. And then I moved on to concealer. This is the Maybelline Eyeshadow concealer. I really like the applicator for this. You can get a really nice amount of concealer on, and I kind of took it in a V shape to really brighten underneath my eyes. I wanted this to be quite a strongly contoured look, so I wanted a lot of highlight there as well. So I took it down my nose, on my chin, and then also on my lip where I'm going to draw in the whiskers, just because on cats those are usually a bit lighter. That was my thought process with that one anyway. And then I also took it on the forehead to brighten up there as well. And I buffed that all in with a beauty blender. I love a beauty blender for this. It just makes concealer go on so smoothly and it really buffs in all the edges perfectly. For contour, I wanted to use something a bit creamy because I always find I can get the best contour with a cream product. So I went for this NARS Matte Multiple. This is in the shade Altai and it's actually a really nice contour for a fairer skin, and I wanted quite a strong line, so I used quite a bit of this and then do a stupid face obviously and buff the rest of it in. I also took a bit on my forehead and around my temples just to give some extra warmth there, and I find with a buffing brush this just works in really nicely, and because it's a matte cream formula it has no gloss and no shine to it, so it makes for a really lovely contour. I also use this to slightly contour my nose. I didn't want anything too extreme, but I wanted everything to look a little bit more sharp and angular and feline and contoured, so I just really buffed that out with a buffing brush as well. Then onto brows, and for my brows it's pretty much the standard same routine every single day. I just brush them through a little bit and then I use my Bobbi Brown brow kit in the shade Light, and I kind of just take this through my arch and through the majority of my brow and just fill all the gaps in basically. I like to use a powder first of all just to kind of get rid of any sparseness, any gaps, any little patches of skin that are showing through, and really work it through my whole brow, and then move on to something a little bit more defining like the Soap & Glory Archery pencil, which I kind of just use to really accentuate the arch of my brow and make the tail a little bit longer. So the eyes are a pretty big part of this whole look, and I decided to use the Balm's Nude Tude palette because the shades in here actually work really well for what I wanted. So I started with the colour Sultry, which is just a kind of taupey brown colour, and I really worked that into the crease just to start things off. And I wanted to do a cut crease with this look. This is the perfect transitional shade. It makes for really nice beginnings of a cut crease. And then I went on to something a bit darker with the shade Sleek, which is a really dark chocolatey brown, and used an angled brush to really work that into the crease in quite a precise line. I find using a brush like this rather than something really fluffy just kind of maps out the shape, and then you can go on with something more buffing and really work the colour in. And I really blended that shade out because I didn't want it to be too harsh in the crease, and just kind of worked at it for quite a while until it was really soft and really smoky. So on the same angled brush, I also used that to make a kind of small wing, and this wasn't a wing in my lash line, this was actually a wing in the crease, so I kind of winged that line out slightly, again just to kind of tie in with the whole cat eye theme. I wanted to go for an extreme cat eye basically. I buffed that out again so it wasn't such a harsh, intense line, and then I went on to just kind of clean it up a little bit with some concealer to make the edge really sharp and quite angular. And then for the lid colour, I used the colour Standoffish, which is this really kind of pretty pinky champagne-y shade, and it just makes for a really nice kind of little bit of sparkle and a little bit of glitter amongst all the matte shades that I was using. Of course, I had to get a little bit of wing liner in there. This is a cat look, so it would be silly not to have any liquid liner. And this one is the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen, and it has two ends to it. This is the smaller of the two, and as you can see, it just creates a really, really skinny, really fine line. And I definitely needed that because I wanted to do kind of a double winged look. So the wing from the crease colour, and then a little gap, and then the wing of the liquid liner, which is a little bit harder to do than it sounds, but after a few practices and a few tries, I ended up doing it, and I think the key is to just map out your wings, so start at the ends and kind of get it nice and parallel to the edge of the crease colour, and then just go in and finish off the rest of the wing liner, so take it along the lashes. I wanted the eyes to be a little bit more smoky, so I used this NARS Kohliner. This is my favourite black pencil liner because once it's on, it does not budge. It's really quite smoky and easy to blend, but once it sets down, it's going to be there all night, so it's perfect for a party look. And I just used this on my waterline, and then I took a little bit of the darker brown eyeshadow colour I used earlier and just really smoked that out underneath on my lower lash line. Finishing touches, I just used a little bit of the same colour I used on my lids for the inner corners, just to add some highlight there, and this is a really brightening highlight colour, so it works really well. And for mascara, I used a little bit of the Maybelline's Lash Sensational mascara. I don't love this mascara, but it worked pretty well for what I needed it to do. I was going to use some lashes, so I didn't need too much mascara on, so I just put a few light layers of this on, and it's quite a lengthening one. It's not very thickening, which is what I tend to prefer when it comes to mascaras, but it definitely did define my lashes quite nicely, so I just put a bit of that on and then moved on to lashes. And I didn't get a chance to do a close-up of these because they're now on my face and not in the box anymore, but these are the Fleur de Force for Eylure lashes, and these are the Fleur Loves lashes. These are really nice because they're half lashes, and they're quite good for a cat eye because they're kind of winged out slightly at the end, so they give that nice elongated look to your eyes, which I really love. So I just popped those on and then kind of pressed my lashes into them and used a tiny bit more of the mascara just to blend them all in, and then popped that on my lower lashes as well. I wanted this look to be quite cute and quite pink, so I used a really bright pink blush. This is Argyle from the Balm. This is one of their Instain blushes, so it actually stains your skin. I'm not sure how much I agree with that, but it definitely lasts for a really long time. So I really loaded my cheeks up with this. I wanted it to be really pink and really girly and bubblegum looking. And this is quite a matte blusher, so I also used some highlighter. This is an absolutely beautiful one. This is from Tom Ford. It's quite a subtle highlighter, so it doesn't give a really glowy, really kind of disco ball look to your face, but it's a nice way just to add some sheen on the tops of your cheekbones. So I popped it on there, and then also a little bit down my nose and some on my brow bone as well. So of course the whole reason you're going to be looking like a cat is because of the nose and the whiskers, and for this I used the Maybelline gel liner. I tested out quite a few things and I found that this is the best. It doesn't budge, it doesn't move anywhere. You can literally rub your nose and your face and it's not going to smear everywhere, so I definitely recommend using a gel liner. And I started off with the nose. I wanted it to be a little heart shape, which took a little bit of work and patience, but it ended up looking like a heart in the end. You could go for a more anatomically correct version and kind of go around the edge of your nose, but I went for a heart. And then I just drew a line down from the tip of my nose all the way to my lip, so just along my Cupid's bow. And I drew 3 little dots on the top of my lip on each side, just to kind of create the look of where the whiskers would start. And then, pretty simple, just draw 4 lines across your face on each side, and you have yourself a pair of cat whiskers. So you could just leave it at that, go for any lipstick or lip colour of your choice, but I wanted to do my top lip black as well. So I had a really hard time trying to decide what to use for this, and in the end I managed to track down a black liquid lipstick. This is from LA Splash. It's one of their Lip Couture waterproof liquid lipsticks, and I can honestly tell you, this stuff doesn't budge, it doesn't come off at all. It's pretty amazing, and I wanted something that wasn't going to move around if I had a different lipstick on my bottom lip, and it ended up working really well. So I think this is definitely the way to go if you are doing this look. It does take a while to dry though, so you have to be really conscious of not touching your lips together while it does, which is a really strange feeling, not being able to close your mouth. And then to stick with the pink cute theme, I went for the Kat Von D Everlasting lipstick in Beloved. This is a really pretty pink, and again it's quite a similar formula to the black liquid lipstick. It doesn't budge, it kind of sets down and dries, and once it's there it's not going anywhere. So I think this is the perfect kind of formula lipstick if you are doing this sort of half and half lip look. And that's it, that's my finished cat Halloween or fancy dress party makeup look. It's just a really simple last minute thing, so if you haven't yet thought of a costume, this is just a really quick and easy one to go for. So if you are going to do this for Halloween, I hope you have an amazing night. Send me any of your pictures on Instagram and Twitter if you do recreate this, because I would love to see them. I will see you all in my next video. Give this one a like if you did enjoy it, and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you soon.